Hello, it's another exciting adventure of Let's Make It Easier in Court. Now today's tips, I'm going to give you top 10 quick tips to make appearing in court easier. We're going to try to keep this under 15, believe it or not. They're just top 10 quick tips. Word of warning, know your case, know your opponent's case even better. Always have notes on a small card. Keep your arguments concise and brief. But number one tip, go to court where you were appearing a week or two before on the same day. So if Wednesday is motion day and you have a hearing against you in a motion, go on the Wednesday before. Courts generally hold certain kind of hearings and motions on the same day of the week. You practice like you play, meaning go practice. Write down on notes when you see somebody, if you're an unrepresented litigant, see how they present themselves. See something that is eye-appealing to you. Write down mistakes too. You're not being judgmental. You're trying to be better at what you do. And they're sort of going before you and giving you a heads up. But you took the time to go to court the week before. So to the victor, the spoils. So go to court and visit in the actual court you're going to be litigating in. That will eliminate serious cases of nervousness, or at least it'll go away a lot quicker because you're used to the surroundings. Number two, watch how the judge uses her court personnel and talks to people. Does she show up on time? Does she have any unusual things on her desk? Or does she do something that you recognize that you can appeal to? Because you only get one chance to make a first impression. That's tip number two. Tip number three is you only get one chance to make a first impression. So smile, dress beyond casual, but don't look like $1 million if you're arguing you don't owe $1,000. But if you listen rather than talk in your first appearance with the court, she will like that. 2 ears, 1 mouth. So your first impression should be pleasant, smiling, attentive, and dress non-casual, like you're respecting her. And that will go a long way. Number 4, in your trial prep, your motion prep, or whatever it is that's coming against you, or if you're filing something, keep it simple, stupid. Kiss it to death. Because if you go on and on, like I do, I'm going to lose you. So have your main points on a card. Your main points. Your main points are already done for you. If you're in court and you're facing a motion of some sort, you've already followed the Parker principle. There's 2 kinds of Parker principles. There's the one where I'm talking about. If you're a disciple of my tips, you already have done that counter affidavit that will run and honor you all the way through the trial if you did it correctly. So place essentially the counter affidavit on a card. Number 5 and number 6, know your opponent's case well, better than yours sometimes. I'll tell you why. That's not a hard bar to climb over because the debt collector is busy as heck and he's got tons of files. He may have tons of files. I'm sometimes in court where I've got 3 cases just in front of that judge and I got to juggle that with others. Well, he's got hundreds more than that, he or she, and doesn't know the case. The ironic thing is every complaint that a particular collector files against you is all the same. So ironically, they spend less attention to the case. It's your case, it's your only case, or one of few. You'll know your case, know his case better. That'll shine through. Number 6, it's know your case well, know the collection attorney's case better, but also know why he or she is going to lose. And you will know that if you know your case and know their case, but you followed Parker's principles and have a counter affidavit that's already done all the work. That counter affidavit, if you do it right, and if you follow my principles, if you go to Plus on collectionstopper.com will help you all the way through. All the work is done if you've done a proper counter affidavit. You can look up and you'll see a video how to create a killer affidavit. Number 7, right out of the gate. I want to hear from your, because I'm going to be there, cheering you on. I want you, the first thing you say to the court, it should be, may it please the court. Sounds weird, contextually, what does that mean? Just say it, please. If you want, you do you, don't listen to me, that's fine. But the court is most attentive when you say, may it please the court. You're not an attorney and you are saying something very respectful that most judges will say. So if she's shuffling her paper, you'll get her attention. The second most attentive judge is when you say the words conclusion. So at the end, have it on a note, say, in conclusion, Your Honor. So you started, may it please the court, and in conclusion, Your Honor. Why is that the thing to say? Well, it's the right thing to say as far as respecting the court, but when we as a human species, we hear conclusion, we're sitting at a speech, and you hear a guy go, and in conclusion, you go, you are suddenly attentive because you've been zoning out. Now you've sort of got to show a little respect, and he's going to wrap up all the things that he just said in a nice bundle here. So that's an ear-pleasing moment for the court. So you will do good to follow this advice in tip number 7 too. Start when the court is most attentive. Tell the judge exactly what you want straight up front and how the other side did not meet their burden of proof. Burden of proof is big. They are suing you. They have the burden of proof. If you filed your counter affidavit after they filed their affidavit, or even if they didn't, the burden of proof is on their shoulders. So tell the court why it should rule your way. And in the middle of your small speech, concise small speech on a card, a small card so you can't go off, have the same request. And then what do you say at the end? In conclusion, Your Honor. And that tips them off to listen to you finally. And you say the same thing. It'll be embedded in her brain. And you will say exactly what you said at the beginning when you said, may it please the court. Boom. You say exactly what you want, what you said 2 other times. Tip number 8. By the way, at this juncture, I want to tell you, there's a really cool end to this that's really gross. But it's the strongest tip I'm going to give you. And it's going to sound, you're going to be like, this guy's weird. I am, but this is really going to be helpful. So number 8, on motion and brief writing. Put together a couple of page brief saying exactly what you want the judge to do, why, and why they haven't met their burden of proof. Refer to the counter affidavit, which you've already written, attach it as Exhibit 1, and you're just reiterating what you've already been saying all along. Boom, 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 boom. It sticks. That's how you win jury trials. Not that your court appearance isn't big to you, but I've been in trials that go weeks. But I'm using the same techniques. Boom, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse. Just keep saying it. It'll stick. Judge is under a lot of time restraints with brief writing and motions that you do. She doesn't have time to read everything and everybody else's. Pink sticky note that bad boy. What you really want her to know, which is what you're really saying, which is your argument on your card, which is in your counter affidavit, pink sticky notes. She will pay attention. I've witnessed it myself. I've seen it. I look over and she's looking, because pink sticks out. And then they will focus. So they'll repeat themselves what you're repeating, what everybody's repeating. So do a motion brief, couple of pages, pink notes, and ADHD. ADHD, I'm afflicted with it. Actually, I like it. Keep it simple. You're going to lose her attention in 30 seconds to a minute, so get it all up front. Number 9, always stand when talking with the court. Always. In court, no matter, you'll see the debt collector attorney stay seated because it's comfortable. It's going to be here for a while. He doesn't want to raise his feet all that time. Don't you do that. Never miss a chance to show the court respect. So no matter what it is, If she just says, do you understand that too, Miss Smith? And she just wants you to say yes or no, you stand. If you hear the court say to you, Miss Smith, you don't need to keep standing. She just told you how respectful you were. So try to, at least to make yourself stand all the time, stand more than you need to. If she says, the judge says to you, it's okay, Miss Smith. You just won some points. Trust me, I've been doing this 30 years. Trust me. So, and I know people. I pick juries. I got to know people. So a tip there, a tip within a tip, sit on your chair uncomfortably, like on the edge. Maybe even be scared you're going to fall off. Because if you're comfortable, you don't want to get up. So be on the edge of your chair. I'm on the edge of my chair anyway, who cares? But I want to get going. I love public speaking, and that's why I'm doing this for you. Hopefully this stuff helps you. Number 10, don't forget my gross killer tip is coming up. Number 10, never refer to the other side by their name. Don't be comfortable with the other side. They're not human. They are debt collectors. So, judge, the debt collector has not met their burden of proof. What am I doing that for? Well, I want to be referred to as the human being facing this big thing, this corporation, and I'm not going to say Miss Smith or Mr. Jones. I'm going to say debt collector. Why? Tips off the judge. Exactly what's going on here. Getting chased by a debt collector. That's another little You get it in there before anybody realizes what's going on. Once in a while I'll get popped because I'll refer to them by their first name, which is kind of bad. Debt collector's good. They get mad when I refer to them as their first. I've been with somebody, I've known her for 20 years, and I mentioned her first name. She got in my grill, told the court how disrespectful I am. We're friends. But debt collector, they will never say, I'm not a debt collector, I'm Mrs. Smith. They're the debt collector. Remind the court of that. Okay, I'm keeping this low, but the top 10 quick tips are in my show notes. I'm going to put them on podcasts so you don't have to look at this face again. But here comes the gross tip numero uno A. Okay? You ready? Best tip you can do? Pick your nose. What? Pick your nose before the hearing. Do it in private. Pick your nose. What is he, crazy? Is an attorney telling me to pick my nose? Yes. Breathing mellows us out. Breathing gives us oxygen into our brain. Anxiety goes away the more deep breaths you take and expel. Before you have anything big, before you're standing up, even when you're shooting, last thing you do when you shoot is, that's why, because you can't shake. And you won't. It'll take away the nervousness. So pick your nose. What do I mean? Clear the airways so you can have full and complete breathing. Now I say pick your nose. I kind of don't want you up to your wrist, especially in front of the court. But that's to remind you about breathing. You'll never forget it now. In fact, I had somebody tell me that before the bar. Pick your nose. It made real sense to me when I was done laughing at them. So pick your nose. Biggest tip, because without emotion, without nervousness, we are able to receive and give the best 100% potential we can. So that's your top 10 quick tips to make appearing in court easier. Pick your nose. Pick your spots. Pick the minimal amount of stuff you're going to write and say. You're going to get lost after a minute. Punch it, punch it, punch it. May I please the court? In conclusion, Your Honor, pink sticky notes. And then sit down. You're not going to do any better. You think you do. We all do, but you're not. If you've made your points and you've made mistakes, that's okay. She'll hear. Just keep it simple, stupid. Fantastic. Thank you for listening. I hope I've helped. It helps me. And you can tell I'm breathing well, too. I wonder why. So, subscribe, comment, let me know I can help you or I have helped you. I'll do whatever you ask. CollectionStopper.com. Podcast Plus is the show notes. And anything else you need to do to be a success. Tell me what you need to make you succeed. Thank you.